Hello, Forrest? That is... I'm sorry, what do you normally view in 2.75 times the speed? Kinda wanna know. I kinda also wanna have my big candle on right now. I was planning to start the stream earlier, but I have a side gig where I clip streams, and somebody managed to actually order $20 worth today. I did one today, and I was gonna do another one tomorrow. But then I was also like, you know what, let's do the tarot thing, because I like doing tarot. And to my surprise, somebody actually ordered the reading. So I spent an hour doing the reading, and the reading was like the saddest thing ever. So I felt so bad. It's like, when you just pull those cards, you just want to look at that guy that you pulled the cards for and go, oh honey, I'm so sorry. Do you want a hug? But anyways, there was the rest button, and we had either Tamika or D'Angelo to investigate, and if I remember, they're not... I haven't played the game, but like, I've seen pictures of it, and wherever D'Angelo is, he looks sad, so hope that the cookie's alright. Oh, you're up early? Yeah, told you got work to do. I stretch. That's admirable. Reminds me of that one quote you always used to throw around. Well, it's like, you pay for time, so there was advice in it. It's a big reading, and the cards practically twice over said, be very decisive in your life. Use the power of your willpower and use it wisely. Yeah, you pay for the time, you don't pay for a happy reading. To be fair, the advice is also like, if you play your cards right, then your far future is contentment. But your close future was literally like, you're gonna abandon something. You're gonna either end a relationship, or leave your job, or lose your house. And the current situation was straight up tower, and tower is chaos. And they asked about their love life, and I'm like, bro's getting a divorce here. I really don't want to be looking at this, but oh honey. I mean, everybody has a turbulent time. But it's a bit easier to have a bad reading for yourself, because you're just all like, well, it's me, now I kind of know what's coming. I mean, I have a tower somewhere between April and May, so that's gonna be interesting. I have literally no idea what that's about. Tower, by the way, does not necessarily mean a bad thing. It can. It means a time of chaos and destruction, but sometimes it's not necessarily destruction as much as your life kind of flips upside down, and sometimes that flip may also be a positive flip. Like, I pulled the tower at about the same time as I got to buy the current place. Like, moving's stressful and takes a lot of time and flips your life, so that's also a tower. So towers are not necessarily bad, but coupled with you're gonna abandon something, right, in the near future, it's just like, oof. Okay, quotes. A lot of people say you can't smoke dope and get drunk when you got kids, and that's not true. You can, but you still gotta get up in the morning. That's being responsible. Towers are chaotic destruction and extreme change. Death is effectively a spiritual rebirth, or a rebirth of some kind, or a death of some kind. Effectively, if your personality died, if your faith died, that counts as death. It could literally mean literal death, not necessarily yours, but normally spiritual rebirth is feared a lot less than your life flips upside down, because if you get, for example, if you get thrown out of your house, that's not a rebirth of any kind, but that is flipping your life upside down. And flipping your life upside down extremely enough can actually kill you. But normally, because you have cards in the future, you are kind of expecting for that to not be that kind of change, hopefully. So the Chaos Tower is probably the worst card that you can pull for its legitimate pure chaos, but legitimate pure chaos is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, it can be a positive chaos. No building back up unless you destroy stuff. So a lot of occultists apparently actually like the tower in a way. It's like, oh, excitement. So I've got some sort of excitement between April and May. I guess the Warhammer kind of chaos. That's very chaotic. I'm actually wondering how is America doing this month, because everybody was pulling towers at the start of the year, specifically for February, so good luck, continent. Everybody was not specifically pulling towers on the European side, so I'm just gonna assume that we're fine. We're fine. That's the one. I never understood why it was so hilarious to you. Neither did I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm a responsible person. But Dakota, do you actually have any children? Are you planning to have kids? There we go. Not in a million years. By the way, you got mail. Thanks, mail notification. Kadir won't be able to make it tonight, but we'll rendezvous tomorrow to meet D'Angelo. He wants me to lay low until then and to stay in his apartment if possible. Oh, this! I thought I was about to visit Kadir? That would have been nice. But, I mean, that's concerning. Having to lay low is concerning. Having a day off is less concerning. Having a day off is nice. Apparently nobody knows where Tamika is. They only know she's in trouble and he doesn't want me near it. Dakota asks, what is it? Got the necktie. Apparently I'm not laying low. I'm going after Tamika. Looks like I need to hit the town. Next lead. Probably useless, but the investigation continues. Would be fun to spend some time together, you know. There we go, Dakota being sensible, going, hey, wanna roll around in bed and do kinky vampire shit? By the way, it's V-Day, so I'm just gonna say that it's not Valentine's, it's vampire. For my Valentine's, I got to work on a lot of side gigs and eat a pizza, so that's nice. Also, my husband's also streaming, so yeah, we're very traditional here. Okay? To be fair, I ordered £100 worth of lingerie because I kinda needed to replace my underwear drawer, and that's arriving on Wednesday. I am not too sure if that was information that I should have disclosed to Twitch stream, but never mind. Dakota, you know that getting into shit is important to me. I know, but I'd like to know I'm important to you as well. Just a few more days. I will find the killer, kick his ass, get a promotion, and we'll do something we've never done before. I'm sorry, it doesn't inspire confidence to me when a vampire says that. Considering the amount of things that she cannot do unless she has a very high humanity, that almost sounds like, hey, you never died before, wanna try that? And I would just be like, no thanks. Like what? That's a good question. Yeah, trust me, okay? I'll think of something, Julia says. Julia, For now, catch up with your work. I need to get going. I mean, we never ghouled Dakota because Lasombra looked down on ghouls, apparently. So that would be a thing to try. Would you like trying not being able to say no to me? Because that's pretty new and kind of dope, right? Fine, good luck, stay safe. You know it. Ah, this place is weirdly empty tonight. We're like, we need to... Kadir was like, can you please lay low in your apartment? We're like, it's about Tamika, so let's go hunt for Tamika. But then we go to places where Tamika is sure to not be, and just sit in the cursed BBB restaurant that we've been sitting in for years. I'm sorry, what's up with Julia in this place? Like... Can you just imagine, like, aging and that's just your thing? 20 years from now, somebody goes there and they're like, what's up with the vampire in the corner? And the people are just gonna be like, no, dude, that's just where they hang out. I'm not too sure can she even squeeze the cross. I mean, I know that she's not Bally and she can't have true faith herself, but that's still kind of weird thing to carry around, religious symbolism like that. Oh well. I'll have the usual mopiness. Just BBB mopiness. I'm sorry. This is a bad hangout place. Yeah. Just don't look at the mopey dark Lasombra in the corner. She's just there. She's just always there. It's just where she hangs out. She likes to hang out in the fast food restaurant. Yeah, she doesn't like even bite the clientele or anything. She just comes over here to order a cup of coffee and mope. Oh, come on. I mean, if you're gonna have cyclical hangout spaces, at least make something edgy, like you're hanging out in the cemetery or the park. Or if you're gonna be scholarly, it's okay to hang out in the library or at the rooftops of the buildings or somewhere fun. Why the fuck do you just keep on going to the fast food restaurant? I come here for free Wi-Fi. Ah, there we go. I feel there's a big, what are we doing in this relationship coming if I don't change my ways. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already happened. But most of the time, Dakota has seemed happy enough just listening to the stories of my own life. Even if it's all boring and normal to me, it's exotic and engrossing to her. Guess I have that going for me. I'm an undead vampire. Guess I have that going for me. She doesn't even see why that would sound cool or enticing. I don't... Julia, I'm a bit lost for words. Like, you get to have awesome superpowers that you could be spending time trying to hone in right now, but you instead come over to mope at the BBBs. I hope Dakota doesn't have to constantly listen to you moping in the BBBs. I have no idea what to do tonight, so I'll just do the obvious thing and wing it. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it, or however it went. I mean, look, I am just a boring human, right? But even then, I understand how my life for somebody else from the outside might seem interesting, and I'm not unhappy with what I do and how I do it and how I live it. Like, I don't just go, ugh, boring. I mean, my 9 to 5 is boring, but that's what having a life outside of your job is. It's your passions, it's your hobbies, it's whatever you're interested in, it's whatever you wanna do. And there is always something to do. She is effectively Superman that drinks blood, and yeah, it's not a safe existence, as in a lot of young Kindred die because they're in active duty and they have to actively partake in fights and shit, and that's dangerous and everything. But your 9 to 5 is being undead, and you do have time for hobbies, because I can't for the life of me place what the fuck sitting in a BBB is if not a hobby. It's just that her hobbies ended up being really boring, and she never knew how to enjoy life. So she seems to be unable to enjoy life. What? I mean, that's what I would go. I don't actually understand the fascination with big cities. As far as I know, the smaller countries you go, like the smaller cities, the more likely you are to run into werewolves, which is definitely not nice, and you don't want to do that. And mages tend to stick to small cities as well, which I fully concur. You definitely should. But there's like a line between being in like complete werewolf country and being in like a mega city. And the line is like all the smaller places that end up under weird contestment or boredom and stuff. And a lot of the times, whenever you place a place inside like a smaller place in campaign, you always go, oh, Chicago is where like the big interesting vampires are. You're not in Chicago, you're in Dakota. Nobody wants to be in Dakota, and it's like, fucking why? And the answer is because nothing happens in Dakota, and it's like, yeah, that sounds perfect. It means that you have eternity. Do precisely what you want to do with it. Research nature, research people, and get really passionate about technology, get really passionate about the occult. Hone in your skills. There's like a million things that you could be doing. Heck, if you get really bored, start a cult. That is a thing that you can actually do in real life as well. You can start a cult. And in fact, one person in the occult server started a joke cult with his friends and then had to abandon it when it went weird. And the thing is, they established a sex cult, and people like, you were surprised when a sex cult went weird? Yeah, I mean, why not? We can all have a little sex cult, you know? We just get together on Tuesdays, and our form of worship is, I don't know, sucking each other's dicks. That sounds like a great way to spend the afternoon. Time to lose myself in these busy streets and pray that the answers I'm looking for are out there. If you were gonna look for Coda? The Tamika! There we go! I said Dakota and then Tamika and Dakota made Dakota as a baby. Okay. If you were gonna look for Tamika, why the hell did you drag your ass to sit down in a BBB and smoke a cig? Why did you need to do that? Because I'm sorry, that part of your personality is kind of funny. Yeah, it's for spiritual cleansing. It's good. Actually, being a bit serial in here, apparently sexual energy is great for rituals, so if you wanted to, I don't know, direct your energy into sigil to help you with money making, drawing said sigil on your partner's back as you mount them can be a way to do it. There is a reason why people look down on chaos magicians, and that might be it. That might be it. If they're not, maybe at least I'll find some amusement or blood instead. Why did your ass come to BBB? Yes, amusement, blood, Tamika. I agree. Why did your ass come to BBB? Ooh. Random interviewers in the middle of the night on the street, I see. I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. The man who said it? Albert Einstein. We're quoting Einstein in here in pristine yellow suit from the back alley. What are you filming? Why? And I'm sorry, but why is the cameraman behind you when you're giving the quote? What are you filming right now? Did you find somebody to interview with before this score? Are you camera shy enough to be standing not in view? Are people just looking at the streets right now? Mom, come! The fire hydrant is on TV again and they're speaking! I'm sorry, I'm finding these pictures way too funny. I should not. Even he couldn't predict what we know today. World War III is being fought using coughs and sneezes! We're in the middle of a biological battleground, but people don't want to wake up to this reality? Fun fact, one of the new variants of COVID, you don't need to cough and sneeze on somebody. You need to be with somebody for 1 second's worth of exposure for you to catch it. I have not read that, but yes, that sounds absolutely bizarro, and if there's been weirder stuff done for magic. If you want to know, World of Darkness people actually talked with some witches in order to ride their mage ascension, so they actually took a lot of real life magical practices, and Eiling's backstory even manages to mention nearly being a scarlet woman to Aleister Crowley, which effectively means his current sex toy. There's several systems of accepted magic with actual, like, proper magical research done that include various acts of sex. Because if you go enough time back, the energy that you're gonna try and use is abstinence. It's like the absolute opposite. You're gonna try and not please yourself in any way possible so that you're really frustrated, and you're gonna put that frustration into your spells. And sometime in the early 1900s, people were like, you know what would be fun? Try the complete opposite. Depravity for days. Depravity for days. That's a great way of charging things. It is a fantastic thing of charging things. If you want to know Myrta's way of charging things, meditation and energy work. Don't get wild ideas, people. Yeah. Sounds like what frustrated people would come up with. The self-righteous tone of some sensationalist journal hag rouses me from a pleasant daydream that I was having in this alley, and now there's absolutely nobody, so I'm just gonna assume that that is precisely what they were filming? They were filming the street. Even though our excellent investigative journalists have been ringing the alarm for years, dressed in obnoxiously eye-catching two-piece, she stands out like a rubber duck against the surrounding drabness. Would anyone like to hire me as an interviewer? I swear, I'll buy even more extravagant dresses and I can come in like a full Elvira outfit. Wouldn't that be fun? We can also film the fire hydrant while I narrate about coughs and sneezes. I can do that too. Her timid cameraman dutifully follows her every move, but his mind seems to be elsewhere at the moment. Good for you, buddy! So why don't we ask the average resident of New York City what they think? Excuse me, miss. Ah, yes. The average resident of New York City is a vampire. I would not be surprised. She approaches me with a spring in her step. Must have been like the only living person that she has seen today. Which is what happens during a pandemic. The cameraman can barely keep up. Jesus, can't they bother someone? I don't know. I mean, I suppose there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people over here that are not social distancing, and like a couple more in the background. Excuse me, miss, what is your opinion on China and its biological war against... Is this the point where the cameraman freaks out? Because, I feel like this should be the point where the cameraman freaks out because, well, we shouldn't really show up on that camera. Actually, is this live broadcast? Is this live broadcast? Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't have... This is the one bit of real world that you might have wanted to leave out. The plague! I'm walking here. Hey, I'm walking here. Scrub. I'll simply walk right by your side, miss, and ask you a few questions. Keep the camera rolling, Mikey, and try to keep up. Miss! Okay, if the camera is rolling, then hopefully it's not live. I try to keep moving, but she dances around me, desperately trying to stick her mic under my nose. How she keeps her balance in those high heels at that speed remains a mystery. It's Masquerade violation. To be fair, as if I touch his camera, it will fry. And at this point, I think that that's actually a better option than letting them show that footage. You know you have to buy yourself a new camera if you don't get this one out of my face, right? Oh, I'm well aware how lefty college students like you react when they know they can't win using arguments, miss. I'm sorry, reporter, what? What? I mean, I threatened her cameraman, sure, but when I can't win using... I haven't tried using a single argument, and the interviewer that asked me a question proclaimed victory without expressing an opinion, without me expressing an opinion. This has to be like the weirdest shit that I've heard all day. I'm doing my best to avoid being recorded, but the cameraman is relentless. It's only a matter of time before he realizes me being blurry is not a temporary glitch. Gotta keep my cool. Leave me alone, you smooth-brained lizard woman from hell. Not until you talk to me about China. Mikey, keep up with us. Why the hell is she so determined to get me? Maybe something about my style makes me look like the perfect straw man of an America-hating college kid she can try and destroy on camera. Miss, are you one of these China-loving kids? Tiananmen apologist. Oh god, that would get you banned in China. Hope you're not trying to broadcast whatever you're interviewing for in China. Killing landlords with Mao. Is that your thing? Is the little red book I spy in your pocket, huh? I got so many problems and this is one. Okay, what Julia looks like does not look like your typical lefty university student. Typical lefty university student does not really look goth or emo. They don't tend to look edgy, they tend to look androgynous. But from both, this comes from both genders. They might be over the top colorful, or quite the reverse. They might be people in hoodies and baggy pants and look like they're not really keeping up with their appearance. Androgyny can be attractive if done right, but most of these people do not do androgyny right. And oftentimes they will color their hair funny colors. Honestly, I would love to color my hair funny colors, but I feel like I may be mistaken for somebody if I do. So, plus I'm going gray, and if I start coloring my hair funny colors and completely lose my hair color in like a few years, I'll so regret for not like getting my last few years out of this lovely brown. Though the gray shines, and the shine is it's kind of attractive for me, honestly, for myself. When I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, ooh, shiny hair. But at the same time, I'm kind of aware that I'm getting old and that I look old. So yeah. But the point was, Julia definitely does not look like your average college teenager. Okay, college young adult. I forgot that college in America is like university, so 18 plus. I can almost feel my brain losing its wrinkles. I start to sort of understand how my dad could be so brainwashed by watching TV. You think China dropping a biological bomb on this country is not something you should care about? Is this how short-sighted you are, miss? It's not that China does not have suspicious shit going on. Virus just so happened to first be discovered around the food market that had the virology lab right next to it that caught fire shortly after where Chinese government was like, nothing, no evidence to be found here, nope, naturally occurring virus, but this is also like, it annoys me because it's so current. This is your average American victimhood mentality as well. If another country accidentally virus bombs themselves, they were not targeting you specifically, honey. They would have virus bombed you. You would have been the start of the infection, not their own people. Yeah, I mean, like, my mother's close to 50 and I'm not too sure that she has any of her natural hair color left. She started getting gray hairs at around the same time as me. But she blamed it on me being born. She's like, oh, I was under so much stress with your pregnancy that you caused my gray hairs. Well, I received them at about the same time without having that stress, so genetics maybe, you know. But she immediately started dyeing it, so I have no idea how fast her hair color went. And if I look to my grandma, she was born with gray hair. Like, one of those very weird shit things where you can actually be born with a hair color or ashes. That's a thing. Probably looked really cool, but she felt rebellious once she was leaving her father's place and traveling to work in big city. When she turned into an adult, she told the person that she was currently dating, I'm gonna cut my hair and dye it red. And he said that that was the absolute most awful thing that he has heard. How can she commit such a crime? She has such beautiful, unique, strong, long hair. She moved to a big city, she cut her down, and she dyed it red. And apparently that man still liked her. So yeah, so that's the story, but I don't remember my grandma ever looking differently outside from having short red hair, because she dyed it all her life, and she dyed it with hna, or henna, which is like a natural dye from Russia. But Western people seem to hate it because it can cause really bad reactions if you dye with absolutely anything else. First of all, it can effectively make the other dye explode, but secondly, that color is gonna seep through and it's gonna do weird shit to your other dyes. So if you start dyeing with henna, you would have to wait until your natural hair grows back in case you ever wanted to switch dyes. Well, also hello Copper Calf. I prefer short hair. Currently for quite a while I've been cutting it myself, so it's kind of uneven. I probably will have to take my scissors again and do some work, especially in the back, because in the back I have weird layering going on right now. I had long hair. I also couldn't stand it, and that was the thing that I begged for when I was a child, to let me cut my hair. It's probably a story that I'm telling for like 1000th time by now. And my mother did let me cut my hair, more out of pity for me for going into my second surgery than anything else, and she thought that I will cry. She thought that I will hate it. She definitely did not think that I will keep my hair short from there on end. Way. Fuck it, at this point I can't guarantee the camera footage doesn't violate the Masquerade, so I might as well take drastic precautions to get rid of it. Plus I can't stand being around her for a second longer. It's just, it annoys me, Copper. Like, it gets down to like a specific point in my neck, and I'm just like, the sensation of hair, no. That's why I cut it. But at the same time, I can't cut it too short because my hair for a while does that whole Saiyan thing where it like grows directly upwards. So if I cut it just like a centimeter too short, I actually become an insane scientist for a while. So that's never an option. Ooh. Oh. Oh God. Oh God, the options. Yes, the bullet shadows. Are you sure not the emo shadows of New York or BBB shadows of New York? I don't blame you, Forrest. I don't blame you. It's just some people like hair, others do not like hair. There's nothing wrong with not liking the sensation of hair. I also noticed there was like this man doing this very swanky walk in the background. I really love it. Domination or Oblivion? Please chat help me, because both options sound really cool. Do we do the domination thing? The domination thing? Yeah, fair enough. Let's... I look over the interviewer's shoulder, gazing into the cameraman's eyes. Take out the camera memory card and eat it. And remember to chew it well. He immediately loses his grip on the equipment. It plummets to the pavement, breaking the expensive lens in the process. And he swiftly plucks the card out of the slot and gives it a critical look in the same way as some elder judges a wine by too. A moment later, he tosses the card in the air, catches it between his lips, and starts rapidly chewing on it. The sound of plastic cracking between his teeth is oddly satisfying. At the same time, the interviewer is bubbling his head with her mic, trying to prevent him from swallowing the precious footage. It takes a single gulp to make her stop. I would like to hear him try to explain the unexplainable, but I'd rather not make her question my role in this. You people have dog brains. Prolonged frustration and a short euphoric rush at the end. Sounds like every journalism-related episode in my life. I don't even want to go back. Oh, all of a sudden the world ends. Cool. Hi. Everything stops. I'm lost in the darkness and there's not even a heartbeat to guide me. It's like sleep paralysis, except it feels as if I suddenly woke up from reality instead of a dream. Instinctively, I react in it the same way I used to react whenever I would wake up in the middle of the night, aware but not able to move or speak. I just wait for it to pass. But instead of slowly regaining control, I just see bizarre room emerge from the darkness. Oh God. Just look at her. Flesh, refusing its fate. Is it? It is not the one you were looking for, is it? He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep is silent before the shearers, he did not open his mouth. There is none righteous, not even one. There is none who understands. There is none who seeks. For God, all have turned aside together. They have become useless. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. Raging waves of the sea, foaming up their shame. Wandering stars, for whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. last one. I like the hair bit. And hair. And nothing wrong about being a fanboy for hair. A fanboy for lack of hair. I mean, I love it. I love my personal lack of hair. I love keeping my style like this. I like having a pixie cut that I have to cut myself that sometimes gets really annoying and I do it fairly badly. Whenever I become one with the darkness, there's always this nagging fear that it might be impossible to become the normal me again. That instead of the shadows returning to normal, I will let my consciousness be dragged somewhere else, somewhere between the worlds. Somewhere like this, wherever this is. This is the first time that fear has come true. Are you afraid? It's a bad idea to answer, don't do it. Yes! Ah, excellent! 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 I think I need to sit in this chair. I think I need to sit in this chair. I will sit in the chair. Still in the lean years and unworthy of joining the rest. However, the path is open and it is a path of obligation, liability, a debt that will be repaid one day. And when she asks you what brought you here, let your response be a scent of death. Suddenly I feel my mind beginning to drift away from here. I am slowly starting to regain control over my thoughts. No, you aren't. Yes, I am. Fine, think whatever you want. Find myself in a dark corner leaning against a wet, cold brick wall. Think I'm conscious again, back from wherever that was, awake, but in an unfamiliar place. Well, let's just hope it's still in New York City. I emerge from the shadows to see where I am. A source of light above my head momentarily blinds me, causing me to instinctively raise my hand. As I do, I hit some sort of garbage bag with my hand. It falls to the floor, letting loose a metallic dim. What the fuck? A woman. Feel her hand grabbing my clothes. She brutally drags me closer. With one of my hands already above my head, I raise the other. Easy! Peace! I mean, you know her! Are we inside a garbage container? Was Tamika hiding inside a garbage container? And we literally came out from behind her and sat in a closed space, because if we did, I can see why that would be really bloody confusing. As for weird, mysterious places, I think you're kind of breaking into the realm of the dead a bit. And I ain't gonna lie, I am kind of jelly. Because, okay, some people are kind of good with astral projection. Some people hear and see things. And if you do, it's actually really hard to differentiate that from schizophrenia. The only way that some people differentiate is I induced visions in myself. I made myself astral project outside of I just see and hear things whenever they come. But anyways, one person, she's a girl, she's into divination, and she goes to a psychiatrist, and she's very down to earth. She's very down to earth probably because she has to be. She calls it getting scrumbled. Oh, you scrumbled your brain? Your mind got scrumbled. Don't get scrumbled. Good things don't come out of getting scrumbled. Well, Julia got scrumbled. Yes, scrumbles. How long have you been here? 2 seconds. I don't know. I got no idea what I'm doing here. Or in general, really. It's like sometimes the forces I control figure out how to control me. What are you, a junkie? No, you're kindred. Yeah. Keep your shit together, damn it. I'm Julia Savinsky, the representative of the La Sombra of New York City. We're probably inside a garbage container. This is just where I hang out. Don't ask questions. Yes. Camarilla? I'm a Camarilla investigator. Well, if you came here to catch me, you're gonna be sorry you tried, Miss La Sombra. No. Stop right here. I wasn't ordered to catch anybody. I'm just investigating Douglas Callaghan's death. This surprises her. She loosens her grip slightly. Callaghan is dead. Nothing left but a rotten carcass and a musty robe. Well, I'll be damned. I've been off the grid for too long. What brought you here? A memory from a different world pops into my head. Yeah, I think I know the right answer. A scent of death. Okay, let me just... Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should start answering people's questions with like really vague musings. What brought you here? The color green. The dirt. The crimson star. And I'll just hope that people find meaning in whatever I just said. That sounds like a perfectly good approach to take. She lets me go. I rub my eyes and finally get a good look at her face. She's gorgeous! And judging by her nomadic clothes and the particularly fierce aura, she's probably an outlander. Yes, colorless, grim ideas sleep furiously. Indeed. We'll have a talk, you and I. Sure, what's your name? Tamika, pass me a smoke inside this garbage chute, will you? If only it could. My heart would skip a beat right now. Tamika, I guess once again someone out there led me to the proper path. Yeah, sure. When I pass her a cigarette, I realize I'm standing in something wet. Something that smells tasty. I look at my feet and see a puddle of water mixed with blood. Oh, I get it. Were these guys first light? High-powered guns and expensive-looking outfits, flashbangs, tasers, all chosen specifically to combat the undead. I recognize the equipment from some horror stories I've heard. Ah yes, smoking around tasty puddles, my favorite. First Light, SA, Usocom, whatever they call themselves, they all bleed out the same, usually before I have the chance to ask them a single question. Tamika, have you considered not ramming, like, your claws inside their jugular vein before you try asking them questions? I don't know, if you wanted them not to, like, bleed out on you, that sounds like the way to go, like, not... If you don't have any outside or internal injuries, you're not gonna bleed out. You ask all the questions and then you give them the outside and internal injuries. It's like, you ask the questions first, then you shoot. Because if you shoot, then you can't ask the questions. Or rather, you ask the questions, but the corpses don't respond. And then you have to take out a Ouija board and ask again and again and ask, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? And normally ghosts don't like just come out like that because they take some time. They take some time to brew and to figure out how to use energy to even communicate back at you, which is all very problematic. government-funded inquisitors. Some claim they're connected to the US government, some claim they're supported by anti-Kindred faction in the Holy See. Some have even wilder theories. You did this all by yourself? Have you seriously seen nothing? Nothing at all? Shake my head. Believe it or not, I have no idea how I got here. I just kind of let the shadows guide me. Is that a Sombra thing? Never actually talked to any of you. No idea what you guys actually do. Well, apparently, we make a reporter eat his camera, and then we're like, we're gonna do the shadows whoop thing, and then we accidentally penetrate another world and get really confused and end up in the garbage chute. Yeah, that's the La Sombra way. That's the La Sombra way. Still learning the ropes myself. Go with the flow and all that. My embrace was just a few months ago. Ah, so you folks are with the Ivory Tower now? Last I checked, you were with the Sabbat. Tamius wouldn't forgive all of the trouble you caused him overnight. Again, I'm practically still a neonate. I just know that there's a lot of bad blood between my clan and the others, and that I can expect at least one glare of pure contempt whenever I visit the Elysium. What do you mean, practically a neonate? Darling, you're practically a fledgling. You stay a neonate for like good 50 years. Nobody just like goes, yep, you're an Ancilla, just because you gained some experience in your 6 months of being a vampire. That's not how time-based titles work, though. Yeah, she does. She means she's actually a neonate. Like Tamika, none of you are old. I don't understand this. Ah, I see. We smoke in silence for a short while. Ah, yes. I'm practically a janitor. I mean, I'm actually a janitor, but I can't pretend, right? Yes, because I am one. Is there a large sea presence in New York? The Kindred are classified as a terrorist presence. There's no other American city that was hit as hard by terrorism as this one. All secret agencies need symbolic victories. Do the math. You're still taking these guys on here of all places? As you can see all around you. Aren't that extremely dangerous? Almost got me good for last year. Took me a few weeks to get back in action. Then why are you doing this? Those motherfuckers have an unfortunate tendency to hurt people I care about. My brothers, my sisters. I see. I don't know how it is in other cities, but here, funnily enough, they only seem to target marginalized and radicalized kindred. Ones that could theoretically pose a threat to the current order. Meanwhile, the establishment in New York City hasn't really changed ever since Calibro stepped down. Quite the opposite. Every SC raid in the city has only strengthened the old words. It's not a hard one. It's not even a hard one. Paragram. There we go. Paragram, that will do. That will do. Almost makes you think that their goal is something other than protecting the citizens from the blank body menace. Tamika throws her cigarette under the puddle, unfinished, and crushes it under her heel. She obviously has difficulty smoking. It's like she only ever tried it a few times. I assume she saw me carrying a pack and decided to try it to calm her nerves after the battle. Or maybe she just wanted an excuse to make her conversation less awkward, who knows. Paradigm! Thank you! Words! Words! So are you planning to snitch on me, Shadow Girl? And why would I do that? Let me get this straight. You really think I'm dumb enough to believe for 1 second that the Camarilla investigator would just so happen to stumble upon the alley where I killed a bunch of SC motherfuckers? SI! Come on, brain! Words! We can do words. Words are a thing. If so, you're the one who's dumb, sister. I don't care if you think I'm dumb. I don't care about the sigh. And I don't care if you believe it was a happy accident I met you. Especially considering not even the sheriff knows where you are. But I care about solving the mystery of Callaghan's death, and as it happens, you're one of the pieces of the puzzle. What are you talking about? Found this on his body. Well, what remained of it? Aside from your name, we got Hope, Agatha, and D'Angelo. You know them? Passingly. Any idea why Callaghan would need a list of all your names? I might know why, yeah. Do you? Absolutely. Do you know a man going by the name of Torque? Of course I do. Do you know about his connection to Boss Callaghan and by proxy to the listed me? No, I'm all ears. Well, too bad, because it's classified intel, sister. I feel like you're trying to make me to read like a huge scientific book, also that I can understand a single word which I cannot pronounce very well because I am a brainly small cookie. What do you mean by classified? Not free. Oh, great. As if I were in the position to or could afford any sort of quid pro quo. But fine, let's hear it. What do you want? Emotions toward the bodies. I killed too many of these assholes. They're tightening the screws. As it is, New York City is no longer safe for someone like me. Well, not that it ever was. Well, man, bracing for something unreasonable. What I need is a way out of the city. You offer that to me, I give you the intel you need. Huh? Would you look at that? That's something I can handle, actually, yeah. She raises her eyebrows. That's a surprisingly confident answer for practically still a neonate. Not practically, actually. Possibly, you say. Like, show up at my doorstep with read it kind of forcibly, or that was another thing from the occult server. People were talking about the series Lost, and one person was like, I never watched Lost. One of the moderators were like, I'll have to force you to go on a date with me when you watch Lost. And it's like, that sounds so threatening because it sounds like you're about to force the person to watch Lost, like all of its seasons in like one go. And imagine like after like 3 days of just standing in front of TV, you're just sitting there crying going, I don't wanna. And the other person's holding a knife to your throat going, you must watch it. Alright, okay. The structure of scientific revolutions. I'm gonna copy pasta that into my long list of things to eventually read. And this, and yes. I uploaded things in bits and pieces, I forgot. There we go. Now I has the name! Woo! Ooh, hey! Good for me. Name saving and shit. I'm something of an immigration officer. I don't have an Audible account, but I will accept free books. I do like books. And I do have a really boring job with a lot of listening time. Hey, I enjoy the company, so don't worry about it. I mean, I talk about the weird things that I enjoy. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot that her job is to like write down notes for like coming and leaving Kindred. Does she have like funds to buy said Kindred like tickets and stuff, or I was pretty sure that she just writes them down. Gotta say, you sound awfully close to a cop. Almost as bad. A bureaucrat. I know of a secret pathway that would lead you to the west coast. 100% safe travel, and if you took it, you would be untraceable. Sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Wait until you see how much it costs. The only reason I know of this route is because a certain Nazi criminal group reached out to me on account of my position and offered a mutually beneficial deal regarding illegal Kindred travel. Normally I would refuse, but they offered me the only thing that can buy me. A lot of cash! I'll find that. Money's not an issue. Now that's something I never had a chance to ever say in earnest. Okay then. How is money not an issue for Tamika? I mean... Tamika? What did I miss? She becomes a roadie, right? Very early on. Like, Tamika got embraced her early 20s at maximum? Late teens, maybe. From, like, the previous story. She becomes a roadie. And she travels with a music band. And she's a bit of a homeless vagabond, right? And she meets this woman, and this woman embraces her. And her haven for 10 years then happens to be in like the New York City park. It's like the park itself. So she lives slightly in the wild. She doesn't... What kind of business was she running? How is money not an issue? Guess you want me to help out you first? Of course, but would you even accept that kind of deal? Hell no. Right, so we need to think of something that actually benefits both of us. Have you met Torque before? In the course of your investigation or before? I wanted to, but on the Anarch side I only managed to meet Mia, and she wasn't keen on the idea of the two of us meeting. Ah yes, Mia. So here's the thing. A few months ago, Torque and I were together. A lot of things happened, and long story short, I no longer feel close to him, but from what I know, he still feels close to me. Okay, that's actually reasonable. Mainly because if you remember Tamika from the previous thing, she was being very clingy to any kindred that could offer her company. She seemed very vulnerable. She seemed like she needed company. Back when I thought there might be something between us, I gave him a ring that has a lot of sentimental value to me. And since these days sentimentality is all that keeps me going, I want it back. So my suggestion is, tell Torque's people I sent you to get inside his base of operations, meet up with him, ask him your questions, and convince him to give my ring back. You get to interrogate him, then I get to have my ring back. Then you hear my side of the story, and I get to leave the city with your help. Everybody wins, more than once. They will really let me in just because I tell them you sent me? They will, trust me. It sounds too easy. What caused the two of you to drift apart? Irreconcilable differences in worldview. Well, I assume so, but that's a diplomatic answer. If I'm going to involve myself in the relationship drama of two ex-lovers, I need something more to go on. Will you? Yeah. I realized I had become an element of his carefully crafted projected image. Having me as a radical partner allowed him to present himself as a mediator while paying lip service to their revolutionary ideas. A mediator, that's the 21st century for you. Everyone wants to be the middleman these days, and nobody wants to do what's right. You serious? Whenever I hear about Torque from Ancilla, they talk about him like he's second coming of Mao. If he ever seemed that, it's only because from time to time, people like me pushed him into doing an uneasy thing. Ever heard of the southern wolf and the northern pox? Fox, not pox! The pox from the north! Oh, well that's just what the plague here needs. Both of them want to eat you for dinner, but only the southern wolf makes it immediately obvious. The tricky northern fox makes eyes and allows you to pet him before taking a bite. Torque loves to surround himself with northern foxes. They talk of compromises. They seem reasonable compared to the opposition, but at the end of the day, they have eyes on the same prize. Power. Yep, that's... You summed up anarchy, girl. You summed up anarchy. Alright, tell me where to go and I'll tell you where we'll meet later. I'm just chilling at Torque's when suddenly a shrill, loud voice pierces my eardrums. And what the hell are you doing here? Oh, yeah, it's the pissy lady from Torque's Inner Circles. I'm here to see Torque. I figured as much. You should have gone through his security first. Get out. No one... You're... Forest Fairy Burger. You're a weird person. 2 times... 2 point... Do you really listen to books at 2.x times the speed? Oh. Don't everybody sound like Chipmunk? Okay, and what if he tells me to stay? Fat chance, move your ass before I throw you out. Yeah, it's okay. Torque, we talked about this. The situation is a little bit different now. Tamika sent her. What bullshit! Wasn't able to track her down for weeks. Well, I did. Oh! That's pretty cool. That would just make people talk very fast. Well, either way, leave me a link somewhere at some point. This is a reason to celebrate, not to get mad. Now, if you allowed the two of us a private conversation. No way, I want to keep an eye on her. You will keep an eye on the exit and that will be enough, please. Alrighty, at some point, my emails will stop. At some point, I will actually get an email. Then again, my PayPal emails were also really weirdly delayed today. It's odd. Like, I ordered a pizza and then 2 hours later PayPal's like, by the way, you paid for pizza, and I'm like, I know! It would be weird if I didn't. Okay, Mia leaves the room. Where's pizza? Where's pizza? I really like the cheeseburger pizza from Domino's. I tend to not eat in the middle of streams normally because it makes my voice coarse. Ah. I'm sorry about her, she can be overzealous, but usually that's not a bad thing. Yeah, sure. So she told you I've been trying to reach you for a few nights? I don't think so, have you? I'm the dumbass the court ordered to investigate Kagan's final death, so considering your connection to the case, I thought it would be prudent for us to talk. Ah, so that's you! Yeah, now I know why you're probably anxious to hear about Tamika. I'm surprised you two know each other. We met today! Also, is it me or everybody's eye colors kind of switched a bit? I mean... It's just like... darky greeny now? Ours is all like reddy huey now? I feel like we never were reddy huey before. Well, actually, we met through this investigation. Anyway, as I was saying, I know you probably can't wait to hear about her, but I would like to ask you a few questions first. What's a Melanesian? I need to Google now. God damn it. Melanesian. Oh! It's a place. Okay. Oh! Yeah, the people with yellowy hair and stuff. That people. Yeah, they're like a very close place that ended up with dark skin, yellow hair, and light eyes. I agree. It is very pretty. Understand, do your job. Did you know Douglas Colligan? Of course I did. We were both barons. Kept having professional obligations to meet each other, but that was it. What was your private opinion of him? Same as everyone else, is a racist clown mentally stuck in the 18th century who spent too much time keeping the anarchs down. I'm glad he's gone. I mean, you're glad he met the final death. Oh, you know what they say. Hate to see you go, love to watch you leave. Weren't you the first kindred to see his corpse? I was, but it was his ghouls who found him. By the way, we established that some of them tampered with the crime scene. They were properly disciplined for that. What's your alibi for that night? None! I was running around town the entire night taking care of various issues. Unrelated to Callaghan, but I don't intend to divulge them to someone from the Ivory Tower. So you have no interest in proving yourself innocent? My official position was made clear. It's the Camarilla who are to blame. It's your job to prove me wrong. Curva Mac. I'm gonna assume that you wanted to say Curva Matushka? Maybe. At least for once, can I face a problem that can be solved with pure logic and not No, you can't. No, you can't. Any findings on your side I should know of? Ask Mia, she's the one who handled the murder scene. I'm not privy to all the details. Help, D'Angelo, Agatha. Any idea who those people are? Can't recall, sorry. The evidence I found suggests a potential link between Callaghan and Tamika. Any clue? I knew both of them well, but as far as I know, they never met. That's it. Well, regarding Tamika, finally. Well, I mean, I don't know what she's trying to get out of people asking fairly basic questions. It's not like one of these people will be like, oh yeah, I totally killed Douglas, or I really hated his guts and therefore I definitely killed him, or I was doing this thing that I don't want Camarilla to know about. You're not gonna get that. I'll cut straight to the chase. She wanted to inform you that she will be skipping town for a while. The Asai is hot on her trail and she needs to lose them ASAP. Oh, 4. I told her countless times. If she's in danger, I will always be there for her. Does she think she can find a secure way out of the city in this situation? She's safe. So you say. She got some other friends in high places. She'll manage to get out. Gotta admit, that's not what I expected to hear. Or what I wanted to hear. Why did she decide to contact me? She wants her ring back. Ah, I see now. That's why she didn't show up herself. Wouldn't even face me when delivering the final insult. Completely off topic. But I'm really digging his skin color right now. It goes really well with his outfit. It's like you can tell that he's dead. It's not just like black, it's like gray. And those shiny eyes, it's so pretty. She said the ring was a symbol of trust she put in me. No way in how am I gonna give it away. Not until she gives me a chance to explain myself. Okay. I have no idea, Forest Fairy Burger. I've never read V5. I just heard things about V5 and collected bits and pieces. I kinda hope so. Because obsidian black is a beautiful color. Oh yes, we are. Oh, let's be brutally honest. What is our traits? Okay, honesty is the best policy, apparently. Listen, you're obviously the hottest new thing in town. People like you, people follow you. You're said to be the anarch people think of when they think of New York City. Good for you. But you're obviously way behind when it comes to understanding relationships. Tamika gave it a serious try. She understood her path, she understood yours. She realized you're diametrically opposed. And that's that. You're not going to change her mind by acting like toxic shithead and forcing her to come grovel at your feet if she wants to get something back that has great sentimental value to her. You want to earn her trust again? Don't act like a power-tripping asshole. Show her you're capable of responding to her concerns and that you're capable of being selfless. Damn, girl! Oh, that pizza slice is gone. God damn, girl. That's whoa. That's the only thing you can do to change her mind. Sorry. Well, at least it was a good speech. Honestly. Okay, I'm done. Oh, fuck me and my big mouth. Ugh. Approaches the door and throws it wide open. Mia! Yes, boss. We're done here. Lead the lady out as quickly as possible. Yes, boss. I have a lot of things I would say to describe his behavior, but I don't want to cause a diplomatic incident. No need, I'm going. Thank you for your time. Tell her I'll show her she's wrong. Tell her I will prove myself worthy of that ring, if it's the last thing I do. Whatever, I let myself be let out of the building by me. The mission failed. Time to meet Tamika and tell her the bad news. Find her already waiting in front of the Jewish Museum. How did it go? Let me put it this way, I'm not surprised you dumped him. So you did not succeed. Then he got mad and started yelling about how he will yet prove himself to be worthy of that gift. Then he ran me out of the building. Is she trying to stop herself from laughing? What's so funny? Nothing, I'll be honest, I kind of expected that. It's just nice to get definite confirmation he's still a bit of a toxic asshole, that's all. Well, glad I fell for the oldest trick in the book. Would be cool if for once a kindred telling me to do one thing didn't mean another thing entirely. Oh, don't be mad, I wanted to be sure of something, and now I am. As far as I'm concerned, you kept your end of the bargain. It's time I repay the favor. Last year, a certain fledgling appeared in the city and attempted to build a coterie. List you found in Colligan? That's the list you got. Contacted each one of us, they found themselves in deep shit. Sai, Kaiser, Sophie Langley, some shadow players manipulating everything from behind the scenes, then they disappeared. Ah! Kaiser pops back into our mind's eye. God damn it! I can't even blow the up right. There we go. Oh! God! Bronze! I have not considered that. Ugh. You know, because of how many candles I burned, this room always kind of smells sweetly of candles. So when every morning I come in to work, I go, my room, it smells of candles. But now it smells of candles and pizza, and it's a very weird combination. I literally have no idea whether... I would assume that they would either go darker or paler over time. Like, they wouldn't go more reddish. I did ask the question of how does the curse decide which way you go, and apparently it's which way you subconsciously think you should go. No one knows where or why, doesn't really matter, that happens when you punch way above your weight. Hope they're doing fine, despite all odds. In any case, Tor got involved too. That's how I met him, actually. He got hurt, didn't want to say how, claimed it could put anyone he knew in danger. Whatever happened, it gave him the drive and desire for change. For 2 months, he was a beautiful kindred, plain and simple. But suddenly, something in him snapped overnight. His tone mellowed out. His actions became timid. His language became more befitting of a political science student than a charismatic leader. I assumed he met someone who made him an offer he couldn't refuse, but I have no idea who that was. And then one night I followed him when he went out, and I saw him scheming at the docks with Callaghan. When he came back, he had an argument. When he refuses to explain himself, I knew I was on my way out. And that was that. Have you considered that somebody blood bonded him? Well, I mean, probably possible considering that you won't necessarily go white and black with specific bloodlines. Like, some Nosferatus go see-through. Some have a skin tone that's closer to like yellow or green. Besides, which is like a side bloodline from La Sombra, are blue in moonlight. So, yeah, bronze is probably not out of the question. Like, the only way she could have been sure that her boyfriend there wouldn't have gotten blood bonded is if she blood bonded with him first. For that blood bond would hold strong, but she didn't. And if his personality changed overnight, sister, his actions ain't necessarily his. I mean, it is me say. Everything is possible. I wish I would know that earlier. Might have confronted the facts with him and learned something more. He never told me of all kindred. What makes you think he would have told you? Alright, thank you. Now it's my turn. Here's your way out. Here's a map of the sewers. Follow the route, then burn it. You've been looking for a one-eyed Nosferatu wearing tactical gear. Tell him I sent you, then give him a agreed amount of money. What kind of route will I be taking anyway? An armored van full of precious coffins. My man knows how to arrange them to allow for unnoticed extra cargo. The circulatory system? What did you expect? The rich and powerful always get the blood they want, one way or another. At least tonight one of their routes will be used for something good. Fine, but remember, if it doesn't work, I'll be back at your doorstep with a vengeance if it's the last thing I do. Sure, it will work out fine. Just beware of the giant albino ghoul alligator while you're down there. Sewer ghoul alligator, for your information, is just a story New York kindred tell to neonates to mess with them while they're still gullible enough to believe anything they hear about the New World. Well, this is a goodbye. If it's in a few months you hear of the first light presence in Los Angeles have been decimated, assume that against all odds I'm still unalive and kicking. You keep killing indiscriminately and you might cross the line of no return, you know. Shouldn't you take it easy for a while? Not until my brothers and sisters in blood stop being slaughtered. Care about what's left of my humanity, but turning a blind eye on kindred in need would be even less human. Yep, that's the kind of person that she is, and honestly, that is a good person to be. Must be comforting in a way to know how your path will end, yet follow it all the same. Sombra Cookie, you should know more than anyone else that kindred are kind, you all die eventually. You know how your path ends. It ends the same way that everybody else's path ends, and how long your path goes is more on to the luck factor than anything else. Like, I could get hit, I want to say by a car, but I haven't been outside for a while, so that's not very likely. So let's just say by a stray meteorite tomorrow. And I could fall dead. I could actually have an aneurysm in my sleep. That's an actual real world possibility. And that would be it for me. And it wouldn't matter how old or young I was at that point. Or I could go on being completely fine for 60 years. Now, I could also be very unlucky and be completely fine for 90 years. And be like at 117, deaf, blind, in some wheelchair, just uttering, please kill me, for like the past 10 years. You never know. You never know. We can all live happily in denial, my favorite way of life. Here's some parting advice for you. We might be monsters, but we were lucky enough to be born into a world that's even more monstrous than we are. That's luck. I'm sorry, Tamika, that's luck. You know what I could kind of absolutely love to do? To see what would happen if you would transpose a small amount of kindred onto this world. Because if I got pulled from a world with a lot of kindred to a world with no kindred, I would actually take that as a full-on opportunity to have a VKK. Just a forever VKK. So, I wouldn't say that the world being more monstrous than you is a good thing. I mean, if you were in a chill world, you could be having a forever vacay right now. You could once again be pursuing your life's goals and passions without having to think about survival. Isn't that a nice premise? That sounds like a very nice premise. If we rebel against it, we might still find salvation. If only I could believe it. Didn't expect the preaching tone. Why are you telling me this? Because I think I have a pretty good nose for people's auras, and when I take a good look at you, smell the possibility that you'll give in to the fear of the dark visions of the future you're conjured in your head. It's not much, just a hunch, but you seem prone to giving in to the Camarella's empty promises of safety and their petite bourgeois values. There we go, French word. Haha, I got it. I think I should take offense to that. I hope you do. It would reflect on you well. In any case, whatever happens, see you in the next life, Julia. Safe travels, Tamika. I skipped tonight's visit to the church. I'm not in the mood to see Benoit. I'm still embarrassed about yesterday's outburst. Kinda pissed none of the clan elders in Chicago bothered to reply to any of my fucking reports. No advice, no feedback, no nothing. I feel like I was left utterly alone. Besides, it's late. I always get back to the apartment early in the morning, right before it gets bright. It's getting risky to be out here so close to sunrise. Accidents can happen. Try to get back earlier tomorrow night. Attempt to surprise Dakota. Yeah. I'm back! Yay! How was work? All caught up? Yeah, I managed to get my deadlines postponed. All our clients are canceling and delaying orders left and right. Does that mean you'll have time to help me with my makeup tomorrow? We'll see. Perfect! Alright, I need to disappear before the sun catches up with me. Hey. Yeah? Love you. Oh. An uneasy silence fills the room. I'm not getting out of this one, am I? No, I have to. I didn't lie to the Baron of New York City tonight, so I'm not gonna lie to her. I know. She flashes a sad, forced smile as I leave to rest. The ship is so stale that I believe it to be sinking. Aw. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But anyways, we have now finished Tamika, which means that we have... Yeah, D'Angelo remaining. Have D'Angelo remaining. And we're gonna do D'Angelo when I'm back, because tomorrow is a work day. And I'm just thinking, do I have... Yeah, I have a stream to do tomorrow. Not like a stream, but like a stream clipping thing to do. I'm like, what are my tasks tomorrow outside the work day? And I'm like, okay, there's some cardboard to destroy. There's still a load of washing to do. Yeah, I have things to do tomorrow. So, anyways, thank you for joining me. I hope that I'll get to do more of my side gig, because doing tarot readings is actually kind of fun. And I also love streaming. And yeah. Night night, Forest. Thank you all for coming, and see you next time.